What's up, King Rezzy, back at you, man. Another video. So today we're going to talk about more in depth of Butler's heritage of hatred. So it's good water, got a lot of alkaline in it. If you don't know about Dr. Sabi, the alkaline diet, so it's really good for you. Really got me trimming up. But anyways, basically, so I want to talk to you guys about today. So I didn't add this in the other videos, but I put in the comments the information about my personal stuff that happened in Butler County of Pennsylvania, plus what I've witnessed with other people. Like I said, is Bill, William, Haley, like Matt Dack, who was trying to run for politics, got something called the Political Constitutional Party, or the PCP, People's Constitutional Party. So anyway, he wanted me to be the Allegheny version of it. I met him before. But anyways, so the thing is that the information of the civil rights stuff that happens there, we also gave to the Attorney General's Office of Pennsylvania and the Butler Bar Association, which I was trying to add because I said Pittsburgh Bar Association when I meant to say Butler Bar Association. This is Butler County, just like we gave the Alleghenies. We also tried to hit up justice-related services, because I was talking to doctors, because like, man, this stuff is messed up. I could just do what they want, you know, like trying to see if any like medical people could do anything, and they wouldn't do nothing about it. They just trying to get paychecks. You sign something which goes into this whole sovereign stuff. I ain't gonna talk about it because they could try to do this stuff where I'm not supposed to know about this, but it's illegal what they did in court anyways. But yeah, basically your signature gives them like $10,000 every time you sign stuff, so they get paid just when you sign it. They just have you sign shit to get a paycheck. Oh, pay for us to treat you, and then don't do nothing for nobody. But I just found this out. The law states that basically, because I was talking to somebody every time they was doing shit to me, there's no statute of limitations to when I can go. The legal ramifications are that I can, unfortunately for them, I can sue at any point in my lifetime for anything, and it can stem all the way back. I can even attach anything, such as the false accusation that happened in Allegheny County when I first tried to go to college the first time, and somebody accused me falsely of something, and I went to try and beat it here in Allegheny, which is why I left, because I'm like, yo, this is fucked up. They just gonna just do some shit to you. That was Robinson Township, by the way. They did that. But anyways, so that I can attach that all the way back, because that starts the down spiral and all that. So anyways, long story short, so Butler has this long existing heritage of hatred, okay? And I don't want this video to be long, forever long. It could be long. I could tell many stories. Okay, so there's this one story in particular, right? I was dating this girl. She was from Fenelton. She's a baby mom of mine. She actually ended up, we go to, because we were buying a house, we go to her family's house for some family get-together, and these people keep showing up and at the house, and they're talking to her dad, and it's all his cousins. He's like related to everybody. That's another thing. Everybody around that Butler is related. Butler County, they're all like family somewhere. So I actually, on my white side, am related somewhere down the line to a lot of people. It's a little distant, but I'm related. So I'm actually tied in there to a certain, is weird. So Allegheny has so my mom actually was supposed to have me at Butler, right? Because she was pregnant with me. How I'm from Pittsburgh is she was life flighted to Pittsburgh and had me here in Allegheny in Pittsburgh, because they had to life flight her, because that Butler didn't have that medical technology back then. It was a preemie, and so when they brought her from Butler to here, then that's when she stayed here with my great grandma, and then I hopped off the porch here because I was born here. So I'm from here, but she's from up there. Now, the thing about this is, so yeah, I got relatives and probably should have been tied in myself. Fortunately, I'm against corruption, and I am complected, so that isn't when you're little, it's like, oh, they're cute. But when you get older, yeah, he's another one of them. But, so anyways, the ex from Fenelton, right, she, her people kept showing up at her people's house, and we were like, what the fuck do people keep pulling your dad aside, calling him outside, trying to talk to him for? Like, what the hell? Like, it's every time that we come. And they act like they're, like, buying something from his farm and all, but they didn't know that they had 2 doors, the 3 doors. They got they got the basement doors, they got 4 doors. They got the one door that's by the bathroom. Then they got another door that's a side door going out the other side on another porch, side porch. Then they got the front, then they got the main door, slide door coming out onto their, like, patio porch where everybody goes out and sits at. So, but I creep out the one door nobody ever comes out, right? This door is by the bathroom, by the pantry. I go out that door, and I hear them talking. And so this dude's questioning, and he's a Criley. Okay, now the Crileys, there was actually a Criley that worked at the jail, which I found out was this guy was his uncle. And the guy that worked at jail, his dad actually worked at the courthouse. So, excuse me, pardon me, the prison, Lake County Prison, by the way, is where the younger Criley worked. So, I'm like, they're all tied in, and come to find out, they're related. They're cousins to this ex of mine. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So, and I think I actually got 2 baby moms that might be related, because I remember them both saying coverts or something, another name that they were both somehow linked to. It's crazy. Everybody's related there. So, but they're so far out that them two themselves aren't related, but the bloodlines, some down the lines are related. But, so they talking, and they ask the dad these particular questions. And I hear her dad go, oh, well, it's kind of too late now because she's pregnant to him. So it was about trying to get me away from it because it's going to ruin their family bloodline. It was like he was being cast out. Now, he was raised around the shit, and he also, I found out later, I tell her what happened. She goes, oh, I didn't know my dad knew them people. I didn't know he was a part of that. Well, what it was he wasn't directly in the shit, but he was raised like that. So basically what happened was he was raised that don't have your girl around a black guy because she gonna they will take your girl, right? They'll take your girl. So that's what that was. It was, oh, this black guy's taking our daughter. Because one time we went to this little farm down the road, and it was these curly haired blonde kids, and it was like matched. It was like marriage matches. It was like they wanted to match the marriage of their daughter with one of them farm boys, because it was 2 brothers. One time they're friends with this guy. See, I'm related to a guy named and he didn't know that I knew that it was him. But Bill, damn, let me get his name out. My Uncle Bill, man. Damn, man. Can't get his name out. He's my great uncle through marriage. My Aunt Odie was married to him. But anyways, he had like a oil company out there. Used to run Mercer Speedway. He hangs out with a guy named Jay, the big guy named Jay that actually is friends with their family, who's actually cousins with the Schulers out there, which is there's a Schuler who works at the jail. So anyways, and there's a nurse that she works at the jail. She's a Schuler. So what's crazy, right? This Jason, big guy named Jason. So what's crazy is this Jason, man, we were all joking around. Bill Altman, that's my great uncle's name. I really didn't talk to him a whole lot other than when I was a kid. But so I guess they call him Big Butt Bill. Well, he didn't know that I knew who he was when they had me back in the woods meeting him because I said his name. So they went and tracked him down. Come to find out he was friends with a guy with their friend Jason. They knew him. So they had me in front of him talking. He introduced himself. I'm Bill. Like I didn't know who he was. I knew who you were, bro. I didn't say nothing because you acted like you didn't want to have any association be related to me. Like that, it was crazy. But and that was until the guy Jason, the big dude that's friends with all of them, said a black joke, and I just kind of shrugged it off because I didn't want to start any problems. And he's like, "Oh, I like this guy. Finally, a black guy that can take black jokes." Like that's not funny. What do you mean? I should have went off on it, but it's kind of cool. And they had this lady, Shani Lewis. She was pretty cool. She liked me a lot. She thought I was funny as hell. So another friend of their family. But so long story short, yeah, they was asking the dad questions about me in particular, and like how they could separate her and I. So that's one story. So it's crazy, man. Like another story, I got my other baby, like I said, she was at work. She worked at a nursing home out near Saxonburg and shit. And it's closed down now, but her and all of the other women there ended up calling the police because everybody was getting these letters one time, right? These letters of trying to recruit for a number in Shakur, trying to recruit for the Butler clan. This is crazy. I used to have this one friend, her and her brothers, that I used to hang out with them. They jumped over a podium one time at a Klan rally because they used to rally in front of the courthouse. They had the Aryan Brotherhood used to come to their prison. They had, you could tell when the Klan was in town, helicopters would be coming in to drop off the dragons, the red dragons. It was all kind of crazy there all the time. There was just recently a protest. I was like the head of this. There was a I'm part of something called the Butler hip hop and rap group, and I was like one of the main people. I stood off against the police, so I became a political figure basically. They hate me because I stood my ground during the protest, and it was like 30 cops. I was by the Citizens Bank. They were by the Dunkin' Donuts. They were trying to close it down. And I said, I'm not going nowhere. And it was after the George Floyd protest was going all around, and they kind of packed up and backed off, and everybody, this whole thing, thanks for doing that, man, you stood against the police, so it looked like I was a hero, and they was about to try and make me a martyr because I stood my ground and wasn't going nowhere. So that's another reason I don't like that I did stuff like that. There was this other situation where, bro, so there's this guy, right? He's related to, I don't know if he's directly related, but he's another clan with the same last name as my one ex. He's a Snyder. His name was Robert Snyder. He was a PO. He was my PO. Now, I didn't know. He was my probation officer, but I didn't know at the time. This was before he was my probation officer. Before I had caught a little misdemeanor and got a little bit of probation, like a year of probation. I recognized him when I went in the office. So I'm like, this is the guy that was trying to fight us. So a couple years ago. So that same group of friends that I had said a story about, my Hispanic friend, my Italian friend, my cousin JD Marley, me, and then we had another friend. His name was Dustin. He died. Shout out Dustin, R.I.P. Dustin Scott. He was with us, and because he OD'd. we all were out, right, walking around town, and on Butler's Main Street, and they had these night tours, and it was preaching the racial history of Butler and the country. And what they didn't like is we walked up in one of the groups, and we were kind of like making fun of it, because, you know, we're young college kids. These motherfuckers, they did some shit where this prejudiced guy, which was the Robert Snyder, turned around and looked at us with his family and shit and was like, people actually pay here. They was big ass groups. He's like, people actually paid to be here, so why don't you go and get out of here? And we're like, bro, we don't gotta go anywhere. It's a free country. Why is there even night tours at night anyway? Then years later, I recognized his face, his bald head and all that. Same dude, and he was my PO. And he's out from the country areas. The little Fenelton and all that. That goes to tell you that it's ingrained. It's deeply rooted there. You know, I had an ex. She was from by the Montauk school district area that I told you about, and Venango, because her mom lived in Venango, and stuff. But her grandma and all lived in the Montauk school district, but her mom lived in like a place called Clintonville, and they had this. They used to call me, my cousins, all out of her name. So she would date me, and there's actually a kid too. I ain't gonna lie, but she would call me all, when she get mad though, she'd call me all types of out of my name. All types of N-words this, N-words that. It's like, so how you gonna date someone and love someone, but you call them that? So it's, yeah, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was a party animal at one point. So but I ran into, I was just so cool. I'm good at making friends. I was cool at meeting people, and I made all these friends and learned all this stuff. And it is bad out there, man. It's bad. There's so many more stories that I have. It's just crazy. Like that ex, she even admitted she had family that was in that stuff out by Slippery Rock. And it was a whole thing where they had this fight in the Slippery Rock school because of this. They had the Hicks versus what they called the Wiggers, because they wanted, it was a big thing. Like, those that wanted to be Klan members, those that wanted to love black people. It's crazy, man. It is horrible in Butler County, man. Like, yeah, little high school kids making different gang groups. A guy that I know personally was in the group. He was one of the Wigger kids. His name was Chris Harris. So, like, it's some bullshit, man. Some bullshit. You had the Bonettis. It's supposed to be like